Allison Hannigan.
Welcome to Fool Us, where magicians from around the world try to stump Penn and Teller. Our two stars are magic in every way, even in the Magic Mike way. That's right, they have shredded abs, but choose to keep them covered in suits because they're very modest. So let's bring out our two studs, Penn and Teller! Magicians perform their best trick to fool Penn and Teller. And if they do, Penn, tell them what they win.
Well, Allison, they win a chance to perform with us right here on this stage, a groovy trophy, and a little bit of hate right here in my heart for the rest of their lives. Now let's see our first potential fooler.
My name's Matt Johnson, and I'm from Sheffield, England. When I discovered tattoos, I realized that I can carry my scrapbook and my memories wherever I go. The J here is for my brother Jonathan. He has tubular sclerosis, which causes seizures. I've watched him literally have 3, 4 in a row, go into a coma and can't breathe. And that's why I do the water escape. What I experienced in there is kind of what he goes through too. So it's my way of being closer to my brother. He's the most courageous guy I know. So when I need the inspiration, and that last bit of oxygen, that's what I think about.
Put your hands together for the breathtaking Matt Johnson.
Well, good evening, folks. I'm from Canada, but I originally grew up in Sheffield, England, and when I was a kid, I had a poster on my bedroom wall. The gentleman in the poster was arguably the greatest escapologist of all time. His name, Harry Houdini. Now, Houdini was famous for many escapes, but the one he was probably most famous for and the most terrifying was the water torture cell. In this escape, he would suspend himself by his ankles, turn himself upside down, and go into a tank of water, chained and shackled. He'd attempt to make his escape whilst holding his breath. This evening, I'd like to try my version of the water tank for you and for Penn and Teller. Now, I'll make no secret of the fact that I'll be attempting to pick the handcuffs and the lock around my neck using this bobby pin. However, the last lock, the one that keeps the lid closed, that one's a little different. Allison, if you could join me at the table, please. I have here a glass. It contains 20 keys. Each one has a red ribbon attached. I also have a padlock. This is the padlock that will go through the lock on the lid of the box. Now, it's important to note, Allison, that none of the keys in that glass will open the lock. Now, I'd like you to verify this for the audience and for Penn and Teller, but obviously we don't have time to go through all 20 keys, so I'm going to tip them out on this cloth here. And what I'd like you to do is select 3 keys at random, but please be sure and know that you can choose any key you like from the top, underneath, the left or right. I want you to be absolutely categorically sure that none of the keys open the lock. So I want you to take 3 keys at random now, please, and place them here on the table.
Okay.
There's 1, 2, third time lucky, 3. Now, I'd like you to take each one of those keys one at a time and try them in the lock, if you would, please. And you're going to verify for the whole audience that none of the keys that you selected at random open the lock. The first one, no. Would you put it in the glass, please? Good. The second one. Folks, she's trying this now. That doesn't open the lock.
No.
And finally, the third and final key, third time lucky. Does that open the lock?
No.
No. Drop it in the glass, please. In fact, the only key that opens the lock is this one. I keep it separate for obvious reasons. Allison, would you verify for everybody? Take this last key, please. Try it in the lock. And does that one open the lock?
Yes.
Good. Leave the lock open. Take the last key. Place the lock on the table. And now take the last key and drop it in the glass. Good. Would you pick up the glass with one hand underneath, please, and one hand on top? I'd like you to shake up the keys. So, Allison, would you verify that you just took the only key that opened the lock and placed it in the glass and mixed it up with all the others? Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. So, therefore, no pressure, but if this should go horribly wrong at any point, it is all your fault.
Oops.
Alison, you can place the glass on the table. We'll take it from here. Thank you so very much. You can go over to the side of the stage. Folks, I'd like you to put yourselves in my position. Imagine that you are locked and shackled underwater and you can't breathe. Not only are you trying to pick your restraints while holding your breath, but you're also trying to find the only key to your freedom. Literally, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I also want you to bear this in mind. The escape you're about to see is extremely dangerous. Please do not try this under any circumstances. I've rehearsed for this escape for about a year, but anything can go horribly wrong. And one more thing. As I duck under the water, if you want to join in, take a breath with me. Wish me luck.
Wow.
Okay, I'm good.
So how do you train? I mean, do you start like in a swimming pool?
I actually train breath holding. I'm not a free diver, but I train breath holding. And the only way to do it is like going to the gym. You just have to put in the time, put in the effort. That's literally the only way. And you have to go through the pain of the lungs burning. That's all you can do, right? And When I go under, I really try and just picture myself floating in the abyss, getting deeper into the ocean. Thinking burns oxygen. I don't want to burn oxygen, so.
All right, well, let's hold our breaths and see what the boys have to say.
Okay.
Penn Teller.
Oh, wow. Great act. Great act. And
Thank
even
you so
with having seen a few acts, still nerve-wracking, wonderfully nerve-wracking.
I really, really appreciate it.
And what I want to really hit, because it's important in an act that's this good, is to let people know what's real. You know, Houdini used to offer a large amount of money, I don't know, make it up, $1,000 or something, for anyone that could prove that he obtained air while he was doing one of these stunts. In the tricks we've done, we couldn't pass that. You could. There's no cheating at all in the breath holding. There's no cheating at all on the box. You're really underwater. All of that is really real. There's no cheating on the danger. It really is dangerous. I want to skip over the first part, if you'll allow me, because it's so good. I don't want to go into the lock picking and stuff unless you want to push me. There's a plot called Bank Night, where usually you have a bunch of different keys that can open something. And it's done as a psychic event, or it's usually done to win $100. Not that it's the same trick, but that plot of one key opening when a bunch of them don't is a nice plot when done for $100, is a wonderful plot when done for your life. Just terrific. I also had to say that we like the way you look. We like your bald pate that go very well with the 7 keys. It was actually more than 7 keys, but all the keys you had go very well with your bald pate.
Thank you. Yeah, but no.
No?
No, Mr. Bald Pate.
No 7 keys of bald pate at all?
No.
Well, then can we try a few of those keys?
These keys down here?
Yeah. Well, the keys in the tank. Yeah.
In the tank?
Yeah.
I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah.
So are you convinced Penn and Teller figured it out?
Yes.
But you were fabulous.
You really
That's okay.
entertained us all.
That's okay.
Fabulous act.
Matt
You get out,
Johnson,
you're wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're just getting warmed up. More tricks and illusions coming up, including one from Penn and Teller. Stay close. Unless I've been tricked, I believe we are about to meet our next potential fooler.
Siegfried interview, take 1.
My name is Siegfried Tieber, like magicians Siegfried and Roy, but Siegfried is my real name, I promise. My father was born and raised in Austria, that explains the name. My father met my mother in Colombia, that explains the hair. My parents, they moved to Ecuador, where I was born and raised, that explains the accent. I deeply believe that magic is an art form. I think that magic has tremendous power and potential to generate intimate, extraordinary experiences. Even if it's a simple playing card being lost in the deck and found, the idea is to create an experience that all of us can enjoy.
Give it up for the magically twisted Siegfried Tieber.
Penn Teller, would you guys mind joining me over here? And Allison, would you also join me over here, please? The quintessential magic trick consists of finding a playing card after it has been hopelessly lost in the deck. We magicians are on a never-ending quest, constantly looking for the ideal, truly impossible card trick. In my mind, it would look something like this. Penn, Teller, I need each of you to select one playing card completely at random. Sounds good? Once you take one, it is essential that I don't see it. Okay. Please be extremely paranoid. Okay? You have 2 big screens over there. Don't even show them to the screens. Keep them to yourself. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Allison, while they look at their cards, I'll look at you, you look at me, you make sure I'm not picking, okay? Lovely. Penn, I'll go through the card like this. At any moment, please say stop.
Stop.
That one?
Yes.
Please take it, look at it, remember it. Teller, take the next one, please. Don't show them to anybody. Keep those in mind. Allison, I'm still on you, right? Penn, you remember your cards?
Yes, I do.
Put it back, please. Teller, would you? Thank you. I'm not speaking. Allison, I was looking at you the whole time, right?
Yes.
Nice. Sometimes people think that the cards have tiny little marks on the backs, which allow me to distinguish them from one another. Even if they did, which they don't. I was looking at you the whole time. Now the cards are lost in the deck, right? Yes? Under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
No.
Yes. I know that they are approximately in the middle where you call stop. So before we go any further, please cut and complete the cut.
Okay. I've cut and completed the cut.
Thank you, Teller. Just in case, cut and complete the cut. However, you might cut near the top, near the bottom, at any point you want. Ooh, sneaky. Ooh. Now, under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about those cards?
No.
Yes, I know that they are next to each other, right? Because you left your card in the deck, you put yours on top, you cut the deck altering the position of the cards, but they might still be next to each other. The only way to be absolutely sure that they are separated is to deal the cards one by one in two separate piles, like this. If we would cut the cards again, even if we would shuffle those cards, they might still end up together, but this way one card definitely ends up in one pile, the other card definitely ends up on the other pile, right? Right. Now, we don't even know whose card is where, but they are definitely separated. Under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
No.
No, exactly. No. Now they are really.
Got one right.
Finally, yes, you got it. Now they are lost. Penn Teller, lean in. Don't tell me which card you selected. Simply tell me whose card is there. Allison, I'll look at you so they don't think I'm following their gazes. Penn Teller, whose card is there?
It's mine, sir.
Yours is
Yes,
there.
it is.
Okay, that means Teller, your card must be one of those. I won't even touch them. Penn, think of your card.
I am.
You are. Don't say it out loud. Don't move your
won't.
lips.
I
Simply
won't.
think of it
I'm thinking of it.
and look deeply into my eyes. I love saying that. Ooh. Penn, there are red cards and black cards in a deck of cards. I think that you are thinking of a red card. Is that correct?
Right and double right.
50-50 chance, but it's going well. If it's red, it could be their hearts or diamonds. I think that you're thinking of diamonds.
Yes!
Yes! Again, 50-50, but two in a row. Penn, out loud. Which card are you thinking of?
8 of diamonds.
Yes! 8 of diamonds. One down, one to go. Teller, I left those cards there a few moments ago. I haven't even touched them, right? Please, think of your card. Don't say it out loud. I think that you're thinking of a red card, is that correct? I think that you're thinking of hearts, is that correct? I think I already got it. I think I already know. I will simply take the card out for dramatic effect. Keep in mind that you selected a card completely at random. I was looking at you the whole time. You put it back in the deck before I even touched them. I promised you an impossible card trick. But if this works, I'll be very impressed myself. Teller, I made a decision. I cannot change my mind now. I think that you are thinking of the 8 of hearts. Yes! 8 of hearts!
Siegfried
Thank you very much.
Tieber,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. appreciate it.
So is this a character or is this the real you?
No, this is me.
Yeah? Okay. And do you interact with the audiences a lot? Like, you know, would you just normally take 3 members of the audience?
Oh, yes, I would take as many people as I can. I wanted to invite all of them up here, but they didn't let me.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we have enough microphones for that. That would be hard.
What I love most in the world is this, what we magicians refer to as close-up magic, and the closer that people can be, the better, yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of close, let's see how close we can get to these guys. Penn, Teller?
Well, you know, people forget what's really important, generally in life, and specifically for this show in magic. Presentation is everything. It's just absolutely everything. That trick, you could not have gotten more out of it. It was just wonderful. Every moment of that, which is funny, entertaining, amazing. Absolutely love you and your whole style. But what's important in magic is presentation. What's important in the world today is a lot of things. Of course, world peace and health and stuff like that. One of the things we're obsessed with now is alternative energy. We can't just keep burning carbon, you know? So we're looking into nuclear power, we're looking into wind power and solar power, and then there's good old hydropower, you know, the waterfall force. The force of the waterfall coming down like that, and I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Siegfried?
All right, I know he's using code words, or he's getting excited for Earth Day. But do you understand what he's?
I think you are trying to say that I'm using some kind of waterfall force-like to influence you to make certain decisions?
I think there was something like that, yeah.
If what I think you implied is correct, that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
I think you guys guessed the wrong thing.
It really wasn't a waterfall force.
You could have called stop at the very beginning, or at the very end, or at any point at all.
Okay, I have another guess. I'm gonna take another bite of this apple. Is it possible then that you fooled us?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Is that the answer? Is that the answer you want? Beautifully done.
Pleasure, it's an honor, Mike. I'm not allowed to swear, but Mike, thank you for. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fool 'em once, shame on them. Fool 'em twice, wouldn't that be awesome? Let's see if it happens again when we come back. Welcome back to Fool Us. Penn and Teller don't want to get fooled twice in one night, but this next performer has different plans. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Jason Fields, codename Jafo. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I held a top secret security clearance. I repaired computer systems. Within a computer system, things are very structured, and there's always a way to create the solution to the problem you want to solve. The reason I love magic is because it also speaks to my right brain. The computer aspect is all left brain. I like using that technical aspect to solve some problems within magic. I spend a lot of my time perfecting things that the non-magician will never see. They'll never understand what I've done to create this. I just want a chance to present what I do to other magicians who can truly appreciate what I've done. This message will self-destruct now.
Enjoy the close-up magic of Jafo.
thank you. And thank you. Well, I guess the question of the day is, where did all of this come from? Where did this come from? I get asked this question a lot, and tonight for your show, I will answer that question. But I do require the assistance of two enthusiastic volunteers. Gentlemen, please join me now. Thank you. Mr. Penn, if you would, the seat over here. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much, Teller, for joining us. Actually, thank you both very much for being on my show tonight. Before we get started, Mr. Teller, would you hold on to the glass? Make sure it's okay. Check it out. And if there's anything unusual, just sound it right out. Let us know. Don't hold back. And while he's doing that, do me a favor. Take a look at the coins, and please, by all means, take this marker and write a big old, like a letter, number, symbol shape. Make it big and bold. And on that particular coin, I need you to faithfully reproduce the entire ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in exquisite detail.
What's in every coin? You just want
all 4 coins. Your initials will be fine. How's the glass? Looking good? It's straight legit. Now, real briefly, I did tell you that I would say where the coins came from, but does anybody know? Anybody? From my pocket. Don't look so disappointed out there. But the glass is a different matter entirely. I got this from the hotel bar, but I'll return it after the show. They'll never know. You guys won't tell, right? Our little secret? Okay. And they'll say, oh, this is cool. No, you guys can't really see from where you're sitting, but Penn has drawn some rather crude vulgarities. I like your style, sir. Very nice. But all teasing aside, let me show you what's more, I guess what's more important than the marks placed upon each of the coins is watch what happens as I wave the one. See, I thought I heard that too. I guess it makes sense because if the coins came from the pocket, they should go. Okay, let's do the second coin and move along here. Actually, I need a huge favor from you, Teller. Would you give a gentle tap on the hand and have you say the magic word? The word is go.
Go.
Go, he says. Did you tap? He tapped and it is gone. It is gone, and yet I assure you, it has not traveled far. Now, for the third coin, we'll do something a little bit out there, a little bit different. I will use my pinching fingers, and you can see the mark placed upon the coin up to the last one. Actually, I need to borrow your magic pinching fingers. Actually, would you hold on to that very tightly? You feel it? You got it? Don't let go, because if he lets go too soon, all is lost. No pressure. Would you place the final coin into the outstretched hand? You can see it into the tightly clenched fist, and that coin will travel from the hand through the spatial ethers, joining the ones before leaving. One coin left, and here it is. May I please? Thank you so much. You can probably feel the coin right there. You can feel that.
I can, yes.
Absolutely wonderful. Guys, watch, listen. Well, I suppose we have a little mystery, and the question really is, what is in the pocket? Now, when I reach my hand into this pocket, people get a little suspicious. Penn, would you take your dainty pinching fingers, reach in, just grab the, just be careful, be gentle, actually. I saw the drawings. Just grab the rim of the glass and pull the whole thing straight up. And very gently pour the coins onto the table. And please verify for our audience, yes or no, are those the same coins?
Those are the same coins.
You better believe it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Teller. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. That was very impressive to do that. With them sitting so close, that is very brave.
This is something I've been working on for just about 20 years of my life. And I've been working for a while to get to this point where I can be on the stage and show Penn and Teller. Actually, believe it or not, I wanted more to show Teller. Because magic is one of those things where, you know, you work and work and work to do things that's invisible to the non-magician. And I love many of Teller's coin routines. So I think if there's anyone in magic who could appreciate what I've done with this, he's the guy.
Well, speaking of love, boys, what did you think?
We're just talking about how it's classic coin magic, and it really is. Although I do believe that you added the signing of the coins. That's not classic and really helps it tremendously. That makes the effect much, much better to know that those are the same coins that start out.
Yes.
I love that. Teller does a lot of reading. magic books.
Sure.
But you know, when you read stuff in books, and I'm sure you have this experience, you always wonder when you read something that's really clever and really smart, would that really work? And Teller was happy to see it does, and beautifully, And it's so hard, you know, to find out how to compliment people over and over again. We have so many great acts on the show, but one of our producers is Pete Golden, and he's quite the surfer. And I think if he were seeing this act, he would just say it was totally tubular.
Wonderful.
Just a wonderful over-the-top act. Fabulous.
Well, thank you very much for your
Just loved it.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
So you understand that they know how you did it.
Oh,
All
yes.
right. Well, thank you so much. You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Jafo,
Fabulous.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We've got more of the best magic on TV. Stick around. Welcome back to Fool Us. If you're just tuning in, Penn and Teller have been fooled once, and it could happen again. Here's our next trickster.
My name's Jessica Jane Peterson, and I'm from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I started in my family's magic show. My mom was magician's assistant, and my aunt and uncle were magicians. My first trick was a cane that levitated and danced around. That was what made me want to be a magician. The day after I graduated high school, a circus sideshow was in town, and I ran away with the circus. I learned how to do a straitjacket escape. I learned fire eating, how to walk on broken glass. I had knives thrown at me 20 times a day. I mix real danger or real effects with magic and illusion. I think as performers, if you get beat up, it means you're doing it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the big top talent of Jessica Jane Peterson.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may wonder how a girl like me ended up with such a dangerous profession. When I was a kid, my parents took me to the state fair. I, of course, loved the rides and the games, but what really caught my eye was the circus sideshow. We saw a strong man, an electric lady, even a sword swallower. But my favorite act was the fire eater. When she came on stage, I was captivated. I could feel the heat of the flames from my seat. She had such confidence and grace. I knew one day I wanted to be like her. Well, that day came years down the line when I was performing my magic at that same fair, and that same sideshow was back. Only this time, when they left town, I left with them. You see, the circus sideshow has a way of leaving its mark on you. Let me show you what I mean. This is a newspaper article about that very sideshow that I saw when I was a kid. Penn, hello, love.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Good, good. As I run the scissors up and down the article, please say stop at any time.
Stop.
Right there?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to cut wherever you say, so we can raise the scissors up a little, down a little,
Down
or stay
just a
right
little
there.
bit. Down
Just
a
a
little.
little bit?
Yeah.
Right there?
Right there, sure.
All right. Now, I don't want to go anywhere near that article, so I'm going to need someone to help me out. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the lovely Allison. Hi.
Hi.
Would you please pick up that paper for me, love?
Sure.
That's right. Just pick up that paper and hold on to it, all
Okay.
righty? All you gotta do is hold the paper.
All right.
That's right, boys. The redheads are teaming up. Now, Allison, a moment ago, we cut a piece off a newspaper clipping.
Yes.
That piece fell to the floor, and you now have it.
Yes.
Penn, where we cut was completely your choice, correct?
That's correct.
Allison, look at the paper. Are there a bunch of different words on it?
Yes.
All right, look at the top line of the place that Penn cut to. Don't say anything yet, but look at the first word of the top line of that clipping. I want you to burn that word into your mind. Have you got it?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you the circus sideshow has a way of leaving its mark on you. Allison, for the first time, say your word aloud.
Time.
What is it?
Time.
T-I-M-E, time. Watch.
Peterson! Wow.
Thank you so much for helping me.
That was very impressive.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely. How long have you been eating fire?
I have been eating fire for about 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I joined the circus sideshow when I was 17 years old.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Take me through that very first one.
Okay, the very first time I ate fire,
Yeah.
I was performing magic at a fair up in New Jersey. It's a true story. And the circus sideshow was right across the midway from me. So I went inside and I got baptized by fire. I literally stuck my tongue out and they put the torch on my tongue. And that was the first time I ate fire.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I've been doing it ever since.
And have you ever tasted anything since?
Barbecue tongue, does that count?
Let's see if Penn and Teller are fired up by your act. All right, Penn, Teller.
Well, Jessica, as I think you know, I'm also carny trash.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm the reason that I'm in show business is seeing a fire eater when I was a child. And I became a fire eater and love seeing it. And what you have in your act is just an incredible amount of confidence and grace and style. And it's just beautiful how everything flowed together. I mean, the final trick is actually two tricks. It's two completely separate tricks that you've put together into one trick that just seems seamless, you know? The trick on your arm, the final revelation there is a trick. You know, Tell's been reading magic books. He started out with magic. I started out with carny. Magic was since he was a child, and that was actually presented in a children's book of magic to be done with cigarette ashes because children playing with cigarettes is such an entertaining thing in the 50s. But it really shows you that in the right hands, even a trick that's from an old magic book can be just wonderful. And I think the fact that you had the right word there after I moved the scissors up and down and changed it must have had people's minds at home just going upside down, just flipping them right out. It was just a wonderful, wonderful routine all the way through. And I just want to use your own words back at you, just confidence and grace. But we think we have a pretty good idea how you did it.
Yeah. So,
Definitely.
whatever he said, you understand?
They definitely know, but I hope I entertained you guys.
You sure did. It was fabulous.
Absolutely. You certainly entertained me. Thank you so much. Jessica Jane Peterson. It's time for Penn and Teller to take center stage. Only tonight, we're splitting them up. Penn is going to head out on the town. We'll see where he's going when we come back. Teller's favorite because it involves sending Penn out of the building while he gets to stay here in our luxurious stage. Now, at a soon-to-be disclosed location on the Las Vegas Strip, let's check in with Penn.
Now it's time for Penn and Teller's world's most extravagant card trick. We could do a card trick in the studio, but no, we're out on the Las Vegas Strip. That's extravagant. And that also means 2 crews. So we're doing an extravagant card trick for you. I'm gonna do the card trick for, well, not just for one person. We'll find a couple. I want to find, oh, you get your hands up. Sure, come on, come on. And what's your name?
Callie.
Hello, Callie. You are a couple?
Yeah, Mike.
Mike, hello, Mike, Callie. We're gonna do a card trick for you, okay? Now, we have decks that we use all the time. We've used hundreds of times for different tricks. We're gonna start with a brand new deck because this is extravagant. So go over there and buy yourself a deck. And this is CW's money. Give it all to her. Give a nice tip. Live large in Las Vegas. They're living in Las Vegas. They're buying a deck of cards right there. Okay, open it up if you can. Come on, yeah, come on from the shot here. Yeah, open it right up here. And we don't need the box. We're never going to use those again. It's extravagant. And shuffle them up if you like. Now, I'm not going to touch the cards at all. I want you guys to decide on one card. So go over there where I'm not looking and decide the 2 of you, any way you want to pick it, random or fan them out, anything you want to do. Now, Teller is back in the studio with 3 computer monitors. He only needs an iPhone, but it's extravagant. He's got shopping and other stuff he's doing, but there's one app on there that'll tell what card is missing from a perfect card fan. The only thing I have to do is a perfect card fan. I think I'm up for it. You guys got a card? You got one? You can pull it out of the deck. Hold it up against your chest. Let me see it all, okay? Now, how did you pick that card?
Chose it.
Chose it at random?
No,
random? You
chose it.
chose. You actually
Yeah.
looked at it, right? Looks pretty good to me. You chose one card, you looked at it, chose it, and you both agreed on what that card would be, right? Take the cards, put it back in the deck, and then give those cards a shuffle. See, nothing in my hands, nothing in my hand. Give me the cards a shuffle. You've done well enough. Now, concentrate on the card. Think about it hard. I want you to do this together. I'm going to do this telepathically, okay? So first think of the number and then the suit. Number and then the suit. Like 4, that's expensive. 4 and spades. Is that right? 4 spades? 4 spades? Nicely done. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. That's pretty extravagant, huh? You get to keep a deck of cards with you when you go. And look at that. We rented the whole side. Whole side goes. Back to Allison and Teller, and who knows, I might helicopter home.
Well, now that our cart is full of world-class magicians, we're gonna check out right now. But we'll be back with a new shipment of magic next week. Good night from Las Vegas.